Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, this is my review recap, honey. We are gathered here today. We are back together to talk about the foolishness, okay, the foolery, the messiness of Love After Lockup. This is my review recap of Ditched and Dismissed, Season 4, Episode 34. Child, why are we doing this? Why? Like, really, I really have to ask the question to all these women and some of the men. Are we really believing that somebody that's been locked up for months, for years, or whatever, put yourself, reverse that. If you've been locked up, when you get out, do you want to feel like you've been locked up by somebody else? Do you want to feel like you are answering to your prison guard, to your mama, to your daddy when you are a grown-ass person? Do we really believe that we are buying people and that's going to make them stay with us? Do we believe that we are giving them the coochie and that's supposed to make them stay with us, and that's supposed to make them not cheat, and that's supposed to make them want to be with us? Do we really believe that we are bringing in strangers and we're going to know them and it's going to be the same as it was while they was locked up when they get outside? I want to know if y'all really believe this, because the red flags is flying, honey, okay? They coming at you, bam, 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 hitting you in the face, and you are trying to pretend that you not feeling them or you not seeing them. You not even trying to dodge and weave and nothing. You just standing there and you taking the hits, and we still playing these daggone games. It's not even funny at this point, y'all. Usually I laugh at this daggone show, but it's really, some of these situations is dangerous. Some of them are playing with fire, and some of them are just really making me pissed the hell off, to be quite honest. But we gonna go ahead and get into this episode, honey, and take it from the top. You know how we do. So we start out with Miss Justine and Michael, and I was really concerned and curious as to what the problem was gonna be, what the big argument was gonna be, because for the most part we know that Justine and Michael's mother seemed to have gotten along pretty good. If anything, the sister was throwing little shots here and there, whatever. We know that they started out being friends and that she introduced Justine to Michael in the first place. So I'm saying, well, what the heck is going to be the issue with them? Now, first his friend comes over, okay, of course, and Justine wasn't happy about that. She felt like this was supposed to be family time, and she didn't want this, friend to be there during this time, and she did not hold back, okay? Justine is real freaking funny because she does the nice nasty, all right? She giving smart, smirks and smiles, but she's basically like, oh, how nice of you to join us when it's family time. We wouldn't want you to miss family time. Hey. And he's basically like, yeah, I wouldn't have missed this, for nothing in the world. He not even paying her no mind. I'm sure Michael could pick up that she was being funny about it, right? And all the rest of the family seems to be happy to see him there. We already saw that Mama was running to him, giving him a big hug, and that was ticking her off because she was like, I'm here wondering why the hell he's interrupting family time, but everybody else seems to be so happy and excited that he's here. So, Michael's asking him if he want to eat something, and he's basically like, yeah, I'm starving like Marvin. And, the family's jumping up to give him hugs and show him love or whatever the case may be. But she is just saying that she really did not think that it was appropriate for him to be there. Okay, this should have been their time just for them. Okay, I get what she's saying to a certain degree. But we do have those friends that are kind of like that extended family. Sometimes I don't know his full background, if he was, getting into trouble with him or whatever. But he says that he basically was, one of the ones that actually have been there for him, even when his family wasn't there for him. He's always had his back. And so that's probably one of those friendships where it's like he looks at him like a brother. We not even friends no more because that's how far back we go. I have a friend that's like that. So, it is what it is. But Justine was not feeling it, honey. And she was not trying to hide that that's how she was basically feeling about it. But he stays, and he ended up not even being the daggone issue, child, to be quite honest. So now in the mix of that, we even see Michael go to the side with his dad and having a conversation with him where he's just, first of all, telling all the family that he's so happy to be there with them. His friend Mocha is telling him, I got the studio situation set up for you. He's like, okay, we gonna go ahead and talk more about that. And so, we have Michael's mother talking with her and talking with Justine, I should say, and saying how happy he looks. And Michael mom asking her about last night, talking about was it good? I said, well, really, we getting into all of that? She talking about some, you might be pregnant already. So she was like, I mean, I'm hoping. She's like, tick, 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 boom. Okay. I said, oh, okay. We trying to really move it quick, right? I don't know if I would have been going into all of that with the mother, but she was saying if she don't tell him, then Michael gonna tell any daggone way. So she was like, well, I might as well go ahead and beat him to it. At first we all still getting along pretty good, laughing and joking or whatever the case may be. She was saying he was satisfied, he was happy. They didn't have no time to waste. They got right to it. And so he pulls his dad to the side, and he was expressing to his dad that, he felt like he could have been seeing him more. It really affected him. He missed him. The fact that he wasn't coming here to visit him. Basically, he had already had this conversation with Justine saying how he felt about it. And now he's talking to him directly about it. And he just was like, it made it even harder for him being in there. But his father was telling him, like, listen, it was hard for me to see you in there. I found myself getting sick. I just could not do it. After I went there the few times that I did, it made me sick, and it took me like 6 months to recover from it. And he actually starts, crying, saying that he couldn't sleep at night, and then they both embraced, and, Michael was crying. So I was like, oh, bendito, I hate to see them being, sad, but also I like to be able to see him be vulnerable and to talk to his father like that. That shows that they did have a really good relationship, and that he's hoping to get back to that. And he was telling him like, well, I'm out now and I'm going to hold you down. You and mommy. And he was saying that it's really having an effect on him to see how him being locked up had an effect on them, And so we want to go ahead and try to have this family bond, which makes the situation that happened even worse, because it's all about mending these families, blending these families together right now for Michael. So he was like, you can relax now. I'm about to take over, and same thing for mommy. So in the meantime that they having these back and forth discussions, mommy comes over and says, did you ever have a discussion with Justine as far as how she's dealing with the kids? Because, what if Melody want to do something and you not home? And Melody is basically his 16-year-old daughter. And he's saying, well, I trust Justine's judgment. I put her in charge when I'm not there. We are now a family unit. She is now my wife. And you know what I'm saying? I respect that she will always do the right things by her. I've seen how she is with her kids, how she interacts with her kids. Therefore, I trust her with mine. And that is a great point. That's definitely stuff you have to look for. I always say you want to know how a man treats his mama, his sister, his kids, and it should be the same vice versa, right? And so at least he's taking the time to actually pay attention to that, whether he's been in jail or not, because there's some people that be out here in the streets, honey, that don't pay attention to that at all, whether they've been locked up or not. But mama apparently has an issue with the way that Justine parents, and feels like the things that Justine would let her own daughter do, she would not want to be done with her granddaughter. So now at this point, Justine comes over and joins the conversation, and he's saying how he knows they're in good hands. And she was like, well, I'm not starting nothing. So Justine was like, no, you are, speak, say what you gotta say. Is there an issue with something? And she was like, come on, let's go talk. So when they walk over to go and talk about it, she was like, it seems like you don't trust me with them, and you think that there's going to be a problem with me helping him raise the kids. And she was like, well, I just don't think it's your place when it comes to those kids. She was like, well, those kids are going to be with me. We're going to be raising them together. This is what Justine is saying back to his mom. And she's like, yeah, well, the way that you're raising your kids, okay, or your children, I would not want my grandchildren to be raised that way. But mama, I got to give you the side eye when it comes to that too, because if this is a woman that you went out of your way to introduce to your son, I mean, maybe you didn't really think it was going to get serious and he was going to end up wanting to marry her and all of that, but that's where it went to, right? So at this point, if this is somebody that is going to be his wife that you're literally talking about, oh, so is there a grandbaby that's coming? Are you pregnant yet? Then she would be the mother of one of your grandbabies, right? And she's also going to be helping to raise those grandchildren that's already there, and she's going to be with your son. So it kind of didn't make sense to me that you're over here wanting to say what kind of mother she is as if that was so bad. And then you didn't understand her being offended by that. What if somebody was walking up to you and saying, well, Michael went to jail, so you must be a trash mother. You know what I'm saying? So I could understand where Justine was coming from with her getting kind of offended by it and saying, listen, because she was like, well, you let your daughter get tattoos. I wouldn't want Melody to get tattoos. She was like, didn't your daughter come and ask you to get them and you said yes or whatever? And she was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. She was like, I didn't have an issue with it. She told me she wanted them and I told her, come on, let's go. I took her to get them and she was like, yeah, see, for me that would be a problem. I wouldn't want her to be able to get something like that or whatever. And she was like, that's between me and my daughter and that's our business, so I don't understand, you know what I'm saying, what that got to do with you and how that affects you in any kind of way. So she was just like, I didn't have a problem with that. That's the way I wanted to do with my daughter. She was like, at 15, 16, she don't think that tattooing is appropriate and getting a, ring on the stomach is appropriate and all of that. So she was like, well, this is kind of pissing me off that you're, basically approaching me and telling me about how the heck I'm raising my daughter. And again, I get it. We all parent differently. We all look at things differently. I'm sure Michael's mom is old school and she is going to look at it funny. Like, what is this child getting a tattoo for? What are they getting, a belly ring for, or whatever the case may be, right? Might not think that is appropriate. She has the right to her opinion, but it was like the way she was saying it was making it seem like, well, she wouldn't be a good parent to any kids, which again was making me confused as to why we was just acting like we was excited that she would be pregnant if you questioning her parenting so much. And so basically Justine starts going off at this point like, well, because she had told her, you just married to him. And she was like, no, I'm not just married to him. She's like, no, but y'all did just get married. And she's like, yes, okay. And so in other words, she was saying she really didn't have a right to say much because y'all just got together, whatever. Y'all just got married. So she was like, well, you're going to have your opinions no matter what. Mama asking, can she talk? And she like, go ahead, talk. And she was like, well, you're raising your voice. You're moving your hands around. You're talking to me like I'm somebody from the street. We're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be family. I think I deserve respect. And she was like, my daughter would never talk to me like this. And she would never be using this type of mannerism with the hands back and forth. And so Justine was like, I guess my mom raised me different. And she was like, there you go. And again, I have to ask, wasn't y'all friends? So if y'all was friends, what was the dynamic of the friendship? What conversations did y'all have before? Is this the first argument now? Is this your first time ever bringing up that you felt this way about her daughter? It was just kind of weird and off to me because, again, y'all supposedly had this friendship before Michael was even thought of being with Justine, and you are the one that introduced them and thought that she would be a good match for him. And so, needless to say, she gets mad and she walks off. She's saying she's finished with it or whatever, right? And Michael trying to look and figure out what the hell is going on because he didn't come for all of this, all right? He over here just trying to have a damn peaceful family gathering. So the next thing you know, Justine's daughter comes over and is like, I'm sorry, not her daughter, but Michael's sister, right? Comes over and says, she would like to talk to her. And right before she came over, Justine was saying, like, my daughter's an honor roll student. She don't get into no trouble. She get all A's. She's a damn captain on the cheerleader team. So a tattoo and a belly ring should not be a big deal. She was like, one thing I'm going to do is defend my daughter at all costs. You're not going to try to call her out. Like, in other words, I guess if she felt like her daughter was doing bad and then said whatever bad things, then she probably would have told her no. But since she's not and she's all good, she didn't see no problem with her having it, right? I can understand that. So at this point, Michael's sister asked to speak to her, and she's like, okay. And she's like, can you tell me what happened? Because mommy came over and was saying something about Melody. She gives her the whole breakdown. Like, sure. She was like, basically, your mother seems to have a problem with what I do with my daughter, and was saying she would not want the same things done to, with Melody. And I was telling her she's not going to just talk to my daughter any kind of way or talk about my daughter any kind of way. And then they start arguing, and Michael's sister's basically saying, well, you're not going to talk to my mother any kind of way. I feel that you was being disrespectful to her. We don't even talk to her that way, so we not gonna let you, get away with talking to her that way. And then she tells Michael, you better come check your girl. So now Michael walks over, whatever, And in the meantime, Justine is still saying she not going for that. And he's asking what's going on. And he was like, why we got to do this? Why we got to do this here? He was like, it's always been about respect and stuff like that. But he does mention that in previous relationships, they've always been able to step in. They've been able to dictate a lot of things. And he was like, with this one, it's not going to be that way, And he's saying that it's all family. We trying to blend these two families together. We trying to make, these relationships good. And this is the complete opposite of this right now, right? And he was like, why is it even coming to this? And y'all both got to have respect for each other. And I do appreciate the fact that he was stepping in and saying that. He said he's not going to have it. That's point blank, period. And so when they walk away and he's standing there talking to his friend Mocha, the friend Mocha was like, listen, in the Bible it tells you the wife comes first. Once you get married, it's a different situation. That's true too, okay? So basically, the mom is now saying, oh, I'm the one that put them together and I could break them apart. I'm like, really, mama? Now you want them broke apart because y'all disagree on, what's appropriate for a child and what's not. The sister talking about that ain't gonna last. She'll be gone or whatever the case may be. I really didn't care for that from them. And, I did appreciate the fact that once Michael got home, he wanted to talk to Justine about the situation. He didn't make a big blowout there at the place. He waited for them to get home and he was like, you want to talk about everything that went down? She's saying no, she just tired. She over it. She don't want to think about it or whatever. And, he was again saying to her, like, listen, I'm trying to bring the families together. He was like, I should not have to come and be the middleman and be arguing and trying to fix things. And I haven't even been out in 72 hours. And she was again doing that nice, nasty stuff, being passive aggressive. So he was like, you know what? I'm not even going to talk to you about it now. I'm going to let you go and cool down. We'll talk about it another day when you calm down. And she pretty much was like in a year, whatever type of mode. And she goes up the stairs. And when he sits down, he was saying like, yo, I just came out. Like I literally been out freaking 72 hours and I got more problems in here now than I did during my time in damn jail. I said, now that's deep. Okay. That's something to think about right there. So I don't think this is nothing that, him and Justine can get past or whatever the case may be. And I do appreciate the fact that Michael is a family-oriented person, and he does seem, to care about the kids, care about her, care about the family. So hopefully they will give poor Michael a break because I actually felt a little bit bad for him. Now, moving on from them, we have Monique and Derek, child. Monique, child. You said you and Derek still together. God bless you, girl, because I don't know how. Monique is bugging the hell out. Now, Derek was doing a bit much too, honey. Derek thought he was a damn GQ model because Monique done gave him these damn threads and he done got back this watch that he said he had from a long time ago before he went in jail that his cousin gave him back. And Derek wanted her to snap a damn picture every 2 seconds, honey. Derek was like, take a picture, 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 take a picture. He coming out, getting in the bed with her and saying, was the sex good? Was it better than on the phone? She said, yeah. She said from a 1 to 10, she would give about a 7 or 8, okay? He was okay. He's still young. He got some things to learn. It wasn't no foreplay. I said, child, I really don't think that had to do with him being young. That more so had to do with the fact that he just came up out of jail. He wasn't trying to worry about no damn foreplay. But, I digress. So, basically, she was saying it was good. He was saying it was good. Of course, he still got to bring up again, I never been with a BBW or a big one like her or as big as her. Somebody being taller and bigger than him was nothing new. But, of course, she's bigger than most of the ones he had. But, he felt like he was taking care of business in the bedroom. And he felt very pleased, okay, apparently, with her and was telling her that he ain't going nowhere, that's for sure. And, oh, you happy? Yeah, I'm happy and all of that kind of stuff. So then he was having somebody calling the phone and he's like, I don't know. And she was like, well, why you didn't answer it? It was coming up, no call ID. He was like, well, they didn't let it ring long. So we already know that Monique got this jealousy and insecurity about her. She's tracking the damn phone, already put all the info in the phone, talking about putting damn cameras around his grandmother's house and all these different type of things. And that's just not going to work. It's not. I'm telling y'all, that's going to be issues. There's no way that you could work around, stuff like that. But then when he's in the confessional and the producer asked him, who was it? He talking about some, let me see, let me think. I said, really, what you got to think about? He talking about he don't want to say the name because he just found out, breaking news, that not too long ago this person wanted to meet him, but he's committed to Monique. I said, now, Derek, really, Derek? Really, Derek? Okay. So he get up and go and get in the shower, and that's when he end up coming back out with his little outfit on, and she got her white dress on. She telling him he look good. He telling her she look good, and we basically being lovey-dovey at this point, right? It's like we on a honeymoon phase still, right? And so after he goes and change and is in his clothes and all of that, that's when he's every minute, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. Monique was snapping so many daggone pictures, and he take her to this spot that he know, and he's like, do you like it? She's like, yeah, it's cool, you know what I'm saying, it's nice, or whatever the case may be. And he start ordering up every damn thing on the menu, child. He has some damn, what was it? I think it was some type of crab balls. He had crab legs. He had lobster. He had steak. He might as well have just ordered off the whole menu. Even Monique was like, well, damn, that's a lot of food. And he was like, well, you know what I'm saying? You got to live it up, and you got to, try everything at least once type of thing, or whatever the case may be. They getting their champagne and all of this. And he's asking her if she liked the spot. She said, yeah, it's cool. It's nice, or whatever. It reminded her of some place that she know back home. He wanted salmon. He wanted the crab legs. He wanted lobster. So, I'm like, you sure are ordering a lot for somebody that ain't got no damn money. Okay, I see you, Derek. We watching you too. So then he say he want to make a toast, and she say it's going to be a toast to them following their heart. He say it's a toast to true love. They taking some sips or whatever, and she telling him not to drink it too fast, and he's telling her as they sitting at the table, take some more pictures. She like, you and these daggone pictures. She like, you feel like a baller? He said, no, I feel like I'm free, all right? And he getting up, doing the damn poses and everything in the middle of the daggone restaurant. I said, okay. So she says she don't mind him enjoying this moment and letting him feel like he's, free, or whatever the case may be. And they start bringing over the food, and he was feeding her. And she like, well, why you keep feeding me like I'm a kid? He's like, I'm trying to be romantic. I say, yeah, Monique, I don't think he was trying to make you feel like you was a daggone kid, okay? I think he really did think he was doing some romantic shit, okay? So he was like, yeah, it's good, it's fire, whatever. And he says he felt like this was a way for them to feel connected, and he liked seeing her put them lips on that damn food, and he want them lips to be on him again. I said, okay. So, after she had told him to stop feeding him, he like, what the heck is going on? Like, follow my lead. But he left it alone. I see she was pretty much just eating off of her plate, and he was dabbing into whatever different things he wanted to taste and eating it, or whatever the case may be, and was just asking her how she liking it, and she was saying that it was good. But then, he was saying he could never get this in prison, and that's why he ain't never going back. So, you kind of see him look like he waving at somebody, and she's like, who's that? You see somebody and then he's talking about some, and he was saying that they could do this every night, and he was like, you know what, I feel like going to the casino now. All of a sudden, she want to yawn, he's saying how it's his first 24 hours out, and he was like, you sleepy? And she was like, yeah, a little bit, just tipsy, I guess. I think Monique got the damn itis, all right. So he was saying he was feeling lucky, and he wanted to go to the casino, and she basically was like, nah, Derek, no, you're not. And he was like, why? He was like, why don't you go get some ATM money out the ATM machine? I said, excuse me, Derek, now you getting a little too cute too. All right, I'm going to call out Monique with her phony crazy stuff, and I'm going to call you out too, because you ain't the one footing the bill, honey. And like, how you know how much money she got, and whether she got it to go to the damn casino. And then she talking about, part of Derek's problems in the first place was that not only was he out in the street and into, just selling drugs or whatever have you, but he also had gambling issues. So the last thing she want him to do is go back into an atmosphere in the casino where he's going to be gambling. That's understandable, okay? I can understand her being afraid when it comes to that. But he's just basically saying like, yo, I just want to be out. I don't want to rush back in. This is my first night out. I want to enjoy myself. Why can't I just stay out with you? He was like, okay, well then if you don't feel like going to the casino, let's just go ahead and walk, or whatever the case may be, right? And so she's basically like, well, no, I'm not going to walk in these shoes. And then he's like, well, you could go back to the hotel if you want to, and if you so tired or whatever the case may be, and I could just go ahead and still go to the casino. She's still telling him no, he's not going. So now at this point, some guy walks up to the table and is basically like, hey, how you doing? They're giving each other pounds, and he's telling him he just came out of jail, and he's like, nah, you lying. He like, no, seriously, I just got out. I was away for a long time. Now the guy saying he was fishing. I said, what the heck does this mean? Well, we fishing for chicks, we fishing for money. I know we ain't fishing for no fish. I was a little confused. I don't know if that's a slang I don't know about, but they giving pounds and stuff, and he introducing himself. He was polite or whatever. But then they exchanged numbers. Now, he claimed he just seen him passing by the damn window and just so happened to look in and see and be like, yo, that's my bro. I said, really? You just so happen to be in the neighborhood at the same vicinity by the same restaurant and looking through the window? We sure Derek ain't tell us to come over here, and he started telling him like, yeah, I wouldn't mind going to the casino tonight or whatever, but I'm with my girl right now. So he was like, yo, well, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? When you finish with her. So she's like, okay. So the next thing you know, she basically telling him, give him his phone. And she was like, he give it to her. He was like, what are you doing? And he hurry up and snatch it back. And he was like, yo, you deleted the number. She talking about some, yeah, because that seemed real suspicious to her. She don't trust it or whatever the case may be. Where do he know the guy from? And why would he be exchanging numbers with him? And you know what I'm saying? She was like, basically having an attitude at this point. So I said, okay, Monique, you can't do that either. Like, at the end of the day, if this is where he grew up at and he had family at, then 9 times out of 10, if he was a people person and he was out here in the streets, he's probably is going to bump into people that he know. I don't doubt that. That's not impossible, okay? And you can't get mad that he knows freaking people or that he bumps into them. Like, you don't want him to have no other relationships with nobody, it seems. And then she made the comment, well, you haven't gave the number to your family, but you basically gave it to him. So I don't know what was going on with that. But after that, they get the daggone child the check, which was $506. I said, 500 and what? And then he gonna push it over to her talking about, babe, do you got this? And, are you gonna take care of this? And she talking about something, I guess so. I don't have a choice, baby. He would have been back there washing them damn dishes. 500 and what? So basically, when he's leaving out and they getting in the car, is actually like 2 or 3 more guys that he see that he knows. He's giving all of them pounds and talking to them. Why, when he sat in the damn car, Monique over here crying. I said, girl, Monique, I know you ain't damn crying because he know people and he's saying hi to people. He's saying how he don't want to see her crying. And he was like, she's so used to him being locked up and them just being able to talk on the phone. And now with him being out, he can see that scares her and she feels like he might slip back into whatever things. But he was like, nah, that's not going to happen. And he also said that he was not going to forget about her and what she did for him, that he wasn't going nowhere. And he was like, she probably feels like he's not going to need her no more, but he still needs her or whatever, right? And so then they go ahead and they drive back to the hotel and she basically laying on the bed and he like, yo, I want to go out. He was like, come on, why you acting like that? I want to go back to the casino. He like, well, I'm going to leave you here and then I'm going to still go. She telling him, well, if you go, then you might as well not even come back, right? I'm going to go home. And he was like, oh, no, please don't do that to me. Don't say that. Like, we not going to play that game, And he ends up saying he's just going to go down and get a, Red Bull. And he was like, this is not making me feel good at all. I just want to be able to be free. I want to be able to enjoy myself. He was like, shit, we could sleep when we damn dead, all right? And I understand what he's saying to a certain degree because he done been locked up for a long time. So now when he come back up, he's basically like, come on, are you going to come with me? He was like, we don't even have to go to the casino or we don't have to gamble. We could just walk around. He was like, any other time you would not be sleeping. You would be up and telling me that you want me to call you at 12:30. But now all of a sudden you dead tired and you don't want to do anything. And she was like, well, if you was in jail, your ass would be sleeping. And he was like, yeah, you probably right, but I'm not. I'm out here in the damn street. So therefore I want to go ahead and try to enjoy myself. So she basically ends up getting her behind up any daggone way and saying, oh, I don't want to go to the casino, but I'm going to go. Now she got an attitude and he telling her, well, you don't have an attitude all day anyway. And she basically like, no, I didn't, In other words, she just getting the attitude now after, I guess him seeing his friends and him saying that he wanted to go to the casino or whatever have you. And so they leave to go to the daggone casino, child, after all of that back and forth. But I'm like, that's not going to work like that, because Monique to me seems like she thought if she was just spending a whole bunch of money on him, getting him everything that he likes, and buying him all these clothes or whatever, that was going to be keeping him in the house. And it just don't work that way. And I would hope that this is somebody that you are expecting to go out here and get a damn job, especially when he over here wanting to freaking bring up $500 worth of damn food, child. Okay, he eats too damn much for somebody that's so daggone little, honey. We need to get you a job real quick, fast, and a hurry. And so he's not going to just be, in the house with you 24/7, girl. Child, that's a hot mess, okay? Now, moving on from them, we finally had, I think it was Skylar finally came home, right? And Nathan is finally able to see her. Her mama's coming out, giving her a hug, and she was acting like she was surprised that she was there, but happy to see her. She's like, what did you think? Of course I was going to be here, you know what I'm saying, to get you. And so, they all hugging, and then he has some kind of shirts or whatever the case may be for all of them that they was giving out. And they saying how Skylar actually had a sheltered childhood. She rebelled. She started smoking weed when she was 14. She spiraled out of control from that point. She was over here, getting into all different kind of stuff or whatever. Started pain pills at 19. And basically was doing about $600 worth to $700 worth of fentanyl a day, girl. I said, what? And that she shouldn't even be alive. So I said, Nathan saying how they come from two completely different backgrounds. She was upper class, he's low class, so you wouldn't expect them to be able to get together. They saying how she's looking amazing. Well, she did look good, and they super thankful to have her and all of that. And so she's making jokes about Nathan being her new bodyguard, and her mother saying, he better be. And so she just basically was saying that, she's ready to go ahead and look for what the future is. And her mother saying that it was ridiculous when she broke the curfew and had to go back to jail. He done got her some daggone flowers, and she's saying how sweet it was. So they was having a really nice reunion, okay? And she was saying she can't wait to put them in a vase. And, of course, that these clothes was picked out for her. And she was like, she always been bougie and, looking through to make sure all of that is okay, and saying she loved this color and it's really cute or whatever have you. So now, after they finished getting everything together and her giving the breakdown about being raised in a a medium income family and going to church every Sunday and having the best of everything, she was really told no and all of that different kind of stuff. The fact is she still chose what she chose, right? That happens. Sometimes people can have the best of everything. Sometimes it's not all about that they had this hard struggle life. They just make these daggone choices for whatever reason. She talking about she was hanging out in damn trap houses for fun. So nonetheless, it's funny that her mama was acting like she was so uppity and above, and like Nathan would be the one to drag her so far down. But I said, shit, they both been down, regardless of whether he come from low and she come from high. When it came to the meat of it, they both met in the damn middle and was doing the same damn thing, okay? So now it's 1 hour out of prison, and Nathan is acting weird as hell. I said, what the hell going on with Nathan? Did Nathan get high before he got in the damn car? Nathan all of a sudden changed. He had this look crazy ass Michael Myers look on his damn face, child. She asking what's going on. Is he okay? He's saying, yeah. He's saying he's nervous. He hope everything goes well. He hopes that she really loves him the way that she says she does. He hopes that they'll be fine. They saying, let's hurry up and get out of Marysville. He's saying there's a lot of pressure and he's feeling stressed out. He getting anxiety and all of this different kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I can understand you want things to go good and you getting a little nervous, but Nathan, you acting a little too weird for me, honey, child. I would have been running out the damn door, okay, telling my mama, wait, hold up. So nonetheless, they stop for coffee, and she's like, yeah, I'm getting coffee. I get to go change my clothes. I got my coffee and my Nathan. Of course, she got to make an announcement in the damn coffee shop and tell the girl how she just coming out of jail. And she's like, oh, how's jail coffee? She's like, it's pretty much, what I'm saying, just like, done putting the coffee in with the water. That's it. And the girl like, really? And she's like, yeah. So she go to get ready to change the clothes. Nathan done spilled damn coffee all over himself, child. He talking about, do I got a hole in my mouth, or is there, a hole in the cup? And she was like, no, just look like you missed it. So when she's going in the bathroom to change her stuff, he's basically like, I'm going to go wait outside. She's like, okay, cool. He goes in the car. He's still saying how I'm so nervous. I want everything to be perfect. You try to plan everything, but it doesn't work out that way. And he's just steadily, fidgeting and taking off the shirt to put on another shirt. In the meantime, she's changing the stuff in the bathroom, and she's like, oh, I actually like this. This looks better than what I thought it would. So she seems to be in a pretty chipper mood overall and just happy to be out. Whereas Nathan over here going through the damn motions. So she notices it again when she comes out, and she's asking him. Now he's back in the shop. I said, well, damn, I thought you said you was going to wait outside for her. And when he come back in and she's asking him, like, are you okay? She basically says, like, I don't know what's going on with damn Nathan, okay? He's acting real weird. He over here staring into space. She was like, to be honest, I really don't know how it is to be around him, because I've only been around him maybe 3-4 times. So she was like, maybe I don't know him at all. I said, you think? She was like, maybe this is, what I'm saying, the regular him and the normal him and how it be, right? She talking about some, I hope not. I said, child, the way y'all be wishing on a damn dream, honey. So now he go ahead and say he just want to get out of here. He just want them to leave. So they get back to this house. Please tell me, what was Nathan and his aunt getting ready, y'all? What was Nathan and his aunt getting ready? Because apparently that place was still a damn mess. It was not clean. She was over here talking about how the dolls looked damn scary to her. She wanted to throw the damn dolls out. She was like, can we just throw everything in the trash? Can we get a black trash bag? He essentially told her, hell no. Okay, you bugging the hell out. She was like, well, I guess this is our home. I am going to be living here, but it's not our home. It's other people's things, or whatever the case may be. And she was like, well, not the pictures on the wall and stuff like that, but everything else. That made me laugh. Okay, she was over it. So he was like, well, no, we not going to do that, right? And he said he was going to get everything together. She also was saying they needed to go ahead and put an AC in, because she was like, one thing I can't do is be hot. So he said, yeah, he could hurry up and do that tonight. She was like, yeah, you going to have to do that. So when he had told her that, they was not going to just go ahead and throw the stuff in the damn trash, she was like, well, I'm going to get out your way to let you do what you doing or whatever, because this place is basically giving me anxiety. Now, mind you, all downstairs actually looked really good. She just was like, I think, saying that they could make it work, and that, they needed a microwave or whatever. But by the time they started going upstairs, honey, that's when it was a different story. And she was like, is this what's going on? She was like, are we going to move the bed over there? What's happening? Oh no, I can't live like this. This is when she started giving him direction and was like, and what is these creepy ass pictures? What is these dolls? These dolls are scaring me. She was like, this ain't gonna do it, okay? And I could kind of get it, because that house upstairs was kind of giving, like, every horror movie that we've ever seen on damn TV, if we being honest. But I'm like, you can't come up in people's house talking about they got to throw this out and throw that out either. But I didn't understand, what Nathan had been doing when he was saying he was going to be getting everything together. And she was like, at the same time, if this is going to be where I'm going to be staying, it do have to feel like home, and I do have to be comfortable. And she's right about that as well, okay? And so at one point, it was just like, well, let me go ahead and move out the way and let you do what you're doing, because obviously he was not agreeing with the direction that she was trying to go. And he looked at her like she was crazy when she started talking about throwing stuff in the trash. So he was also saying that, she don't know the stress that has been of trying to get everything together and trying to make it work. And, of course, she was saying that it's definitely a difference in you being in jail and talking to somebody, and then y'all actually trying to live together when y'all both pretty much are different people that are used to things being different ways, right? And bringing that all together. And she was like, she sees the potential in this place, but it's definitely a lot to do. And so points was made on all of those points, right? And there is a difference, and that's why you don't go and just hook up with random damn people coming out of jail, because even when it's somebody that you know that you've been dating for a long time outside of jail, there's a difference when it comes to dating and then being engaged and then living together and then being married. There's a difference in all that, honey. And you always get that how they say, the representative, and then you actually get the real person. So can you imagine when it's coming out of jail how it is? So she's like, basically it was weird, because the thing that seemed to calm her down and that they both seemed to be able to laugh and be silly and relaxed about and apparently turned them on is when he put on these old clothes, maybe his grandpa clothes or whatever, and this old looking mask, and comes down talking about, I've been waiting for you for so long. She got such a freaking kick out of that. She thought that was real funny. She started laughing about that, seemed very happy with it, and he basically was like, this is what I was going to originally wear to come pick you up, but then I changed my mind and was like, no, he's saying he going to do better and be better or whatever, right? And I'm like, child, I'm glad you didn't wear that, honey. You couldn't have wore that to get me, and I wouldn't even want you to come downstairs with it on, to be quite honest. But like I said, apparently it turned her on. She started laughing so hard. Oh, how did you get that? Where did those pants come? I kind of like the shirt. And he started making fun, saying, oh yeah, from the 80s or whatever the case may be. And she's like, oh babe, this is so funny, and it's actually so cute or whatever the case may be. And so then when he turned around to go and walk up the stairs, it's like she following behind him, and she like, what you got on up underneath there? And then they go in the room. So apparently all he had to do was put on that old funky mask and some old funky clothes, and she forgot all about the creepy dolls and was ready to get it on. Okay, and that's all it took. Now, in the meantime, we could go ahead and get Aries and Cameron out the daggone way, because it really wasn't much going on with them. Of course, Aries had picked up Cameron or whatever the case may be. They riding in the daggone car, and he's saying how, he gonna get right back into his music thing. He gonna be making some movies. He said, some videos. He said it ain't gonna be no Pornhub, but you best believe it's gonna be a whole bunch of asses shaking and titties popping and, getting buck wild whatever way they can. So she was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, we not gonna be doing that. And he was like, well, you can't be expecting for me to be keeping it all conservative either. And she was like, no, I'm not saying conservative, but we ain't got to be getting crazy. Of course, he's still saying how he can't wait to feel her and get in her and, have everything that he needs to have from her. Okay, he is definitely looking forward to that. He's telling her how pretty and fine she look, and she's basically like, thank you, baby. Okay, I really do appreciate that. And so he just basically was saying that, when he gets out, that's his plan. He gonna have this crazy ass video. He gonna get it in, have a funky good time, and he's trying to basically live his daggone best life, And of course, he couldn't wait to be able to get into her and make it do what it do with her as well, too. So he was like, I'm not trying to be out here like if I'm doing a daggone porno, but it's an image, it's rap, and it's what I got to do, And so he was like, I might as well be a pastor and change my name. And she's like, no, I'm not saying all of that. And he's like, yeah, but still. And so he was like, you don't got nothing to worry about. But she was telling him, you still got to have boundaries and all of this. And he was like, I understand and I agree with you or whatever. But, we got to have a middle ground. It'll all work out because you got to be able to see where I'm coming from with this, right? And so in the meantime, he talking about he needs some alone time. Like, it's about that time. Let's do it. And he was like, well, I'm thinking they gonna go get some damn child, go to a hotel, because he was like, I can't wait to be intimate with you. And it had looked like they stopped, and got some gas. He was like, she's smelling good, she gonna taste good, she looking good. I said, what is this? First people stopping over and going in damn parks. Now we stopping over in the parking lot and we talking about let's do this. You look real good. He start kissing on her. He talking about it's been 30 months since he been with a woman. He been dreaming about it. He can't wait to get into it. Every day that he was, locked up, that's all he was thinking about. And he telling her here or whatever. So she touching down there and he touching her breast and kissing on her. She putting up her hand like this to the camera talking about we gotta cover it. I said, so we just doing it right here in the parking lot where it's cars and stuff going by. And even though you supposedly covered the damn camera, we TV over here on the side through the damn mirror still watching y'all asses. I said, really? Y'all really couldn't get a hotel? We really not going in the hotel. We really just on the side, on the road. Okay. Whatever turns you on, whatever floats your boat. He over here talking about muffins, and he said if you want to know, what I'm saying, what muffins is, basically muffins, what did he say? Like when the muffins rise in the daggone oven and they be like poof, poof, he couldn't wait to get her muffins. So I said, okay, I guess. So basically, after they stopped to get their little groove on or whatever, then they turn around and she was and it was funny too, because when he was doing the muffins, he was over here like, muffin time, like, I said, child, and he was doing the shimmy dance and everything. I said, okay, give this man his muffins. But anyway, she went and dropped him off at the damn halfway house, was basically screaming, I love you, I can't wait for him to be able to come and be with me in Florida, and I don't want him to have any, thing bad around him and any bad experiences and all of that. So that was pretty much that with them. Child, now we get to Gabby and Chris. Gabby and Chris is a whole damn mess. Gabby is asking for freaking problems at this point. I so agree that they are like a volcano that is ready to erupt. They are like a damn bomb that is ready to go off. They did not need to be together. I could see why they did not last. Basically the red flags was every which way but up. Her mama was right, his mama was right. She was basically saying how they two hotheads and how it's the self-destructive and it's just not meant to be, and that they should let each other go. And I agree with all of it 100%. First of all, Gabby coming home telling us that, she done found some stuff on Chris and she know that he out here talking to girls. She basically calls him up and was asking him, who's these chicks that you've been talking to? Of course, he's saying it ain't nobody, that he have different friends and different people that he knew before. And he's like, well, what are you doing even looking at my phone and watching my calls anyway? Because I paid for it and I bought it and all of this, and there's numbers that I don't recognize. But we didn't forget, Gabby, that just last week you were sitting around telling us that you got this big ass secret that you've been keeping from him too. So to me, this just feels like you trying to avoid your secret coming out and then make problems and say that he's doing whatever to be able to push it away and make it seem like an excuse. Or either both things could be true. But we ain't forget about your secret either, because you were saying how pissed off he was going to be and that it was going to be harder to hide it once he came out than with him being in there. And now conveniently you're supposed to be pissed that he's getting these damn calls. So in the meantime, she's like, well, I'm not going to come pick you up. You could go ahead and just take the train home. And she hangs up the damn phone on him. So now Chris' mom and brother's waiting outside for him. And they're like, where Gabby? Why Gabby not here? She supposed to be the wife and they supposed to be so happy together. I don't understand where she's at. He come out and he ends up telling them like, oh, she's mad. She was saying there's these other girls that's calling me. They like, well, was there other girls calling you? Well, yeah, I know people and I have friends before her, whatever the case may be. And I've been locked up for all these years. So of course it was other girls calling me. He ain't lie about it, so I can respect that. And of course his mother is still like, oh, well, y'all don't need to be together and all this and that or whatever. Anyway, and he apparently had told his mother to bring him another phone, and she brought him the phone. And then he was saying that she was saying he shouldn't go there. Okay, she said this several different times. She was like, you sure you want to go there? You shouldn't go there. She was like, are you going to be with us or are you going there with her, because you keep telling us different things? He said no, he going to go ahead and be there with her. He want to be there with her. He was like, I know she could get a little crazy, but that's actually what turned him on. He don't want somebody that's just going to be a yes man and going for whatever. He likes the fact that she's spicy and she give him an argument and tell him about himself and all this and that, right? And so they basically was like, you broke for real? You really don't got no money? Like they thought he was still trying to hide some money somewhere or whatever. And he was like, no, that's it. They was like, so you gave her all that money. And of course we had to hear the story from him once again of all the money that he dished out and what he gave her and what she spent it on. Child, we know about her, okay? So basically, in the midst of him being in the store, somebody named Brittany calls. Apparently, they know her. They all saying what's up to her, saying she mad cool. The mama talking about how she like her. And then he's telling Brittany he gonna call her when he leave out the store. And he's like, I'm on my way to Jersey. She's like, well, who's in Jersey? And of course, he says, Gabby. And he was basically saying that she knows about Gabby, knows that he's married and all of that. So the brother's like, oh, okay. And they cool with that. Yeah. So basically, again, his mama saying she's a disaster waiting to happen. She was like, she's always starting arguments, starting problems, or whatever the case may be. And he was like, she said, you a hothead, she's a hothead. Two hotheads are not going to work. And that part, I agree with Mama on, okay? Mama was spitting some facts. She was like, she likes causing problems. She likes to fight. But, of course, these is things that's all turning him on. So the more they keep saying, this is your last chance, you still don't want to turn around, you still think you want to go meet her. Yeah, I'm going to her. I'm going to go meet her, whatever the case may be. I got faith in her. I trust her. She stood by my side, so I'm going to stand by her side. She was there for me when I was in jail. So I'm going to keep my word and be there for her now. I'm going to, be there for our marriage and all of that other kind of stuff, right? And so they like, okay. So basically he calls her again before he gets on the train, right after he leaving from his mother. He's like, I'm about to get on this train. Do you still want me to come? Because we trying to test the waters and see how mad she is. Because he was saying when he get there, they would have this conversation. He would explain everything to her. He was like, well, first we going to get it in and have us some sex. We going to eat some good food. And then we going to go ahead and get into this conversation. But he wanted to make sure before he got on the train, like, do you really still want me to come? Are you gonna meet me there at the train? I'm just leaving my mother. She talking about some that's interesting, and he was like, then I'll be on my way to you and I'm coming straight to Jersey, whatever. So he was like, I just wanted to call you first and make sure that that's what you still want me to do. She tells him, yeah. He rides the damn train all the way there, child, okay, and then is waiting there at the train station. And he was like, I know she gonna make me work, and you know what I'm saying, but I don't mind. I'm gonna put in that work for her because she put in that work for me when I was in jail and all of this. Meanwhile, he's standing there talking with the daggone, camera people and all of that, waiting. 30 minutes done went past. He calling the phone. It's going straight to voicemail. Finally, she calls him back and he tells her, like, where you at? I've been sitting here 40 damn minutes. She says, I'm not gonna come. I said, girl, you playing a real dangerous game. And I don't condone domestic violence in any way, shape, or form. I don't think no woman should be hitting no man. No man should be hitting no woman. If it comes to that, I definitely think that is definitely called it quits. It ain't even nothing to discuss. But at the end of the day, honey, I could see the red flags and see the direction that it was going there. Because certain things you just can't do to people. Okay? And you're lucky, God forbid, that is not even just a thing of you hitting them hitting you, or threatening back and forth. Like, it could literally cost you your life. And I don't even know why WeTV even left this daggone couple up here, to be quite honest. But it is what it is. They did. All right. And so it's no shocker that they did not make it. Again, I will say, it's pretty clear. It's pretty black and white to me. It's crazy how neither one of them saw it. All right. And I still want to know what the hell her damn secret was. But anyway, y'all, that was the episode. Y'all put it in the comments. Tell me who you like, who you don't like. You know how we do. Let's discuss anything that I missed. Put it in the comments. We will discuss it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all. Toodaloo.